All right, hey shalom, shalom. I want to start by saying, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Kahalam La Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kwakudash, and also double honor to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders grand millstone rule well, and also shalom to sincere Akim they pushing truth in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kwakudash, who happen to be scattered around the four corners of the earth. I'm back here again with another lesson, and this lesson is going into this what you going this situation over there in, I want to say this is India, right? Just give me a minute. It says here, right? It says, is this the one? Hold on. Let me make sure this is the one, right? Just bear with me. Right, okay. So this is going into Karnataka's is anti-hate speech bill, right? And I want to say this is in India, okay? And it's an anti-speech bill, all right? Like, we've been saying for a long time that, the man you see on Highway Bowers, all right, pushing this truth of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, eventually that Esau and his nations, they are going to pass what the anti-bill, anti-hate speech, okay, a bill that applies if you're speaking against, okay, this, the system, because eventually, all right, every country that have their own laws for now, but eventually they're gonna make all those laws come into one, one new order, okay, laws, okay, to whatever you say, in those countries, whatever country you're in, is going to be brought forth, okay, as one government, one government, one currency, one religious, and under that, anything you say towards whatever country you're in is, somehow it's gonna go back towards the new world order, okay, the system we're coming into, because this bill here that is about to be passed over there in India, which I want to say this is in India. It's going this bill over there in India is going to be passed over here in Australia. It's going to be passed over there in Spain. It's going to be passed over there in Italy, France, Great Britain, America. Those bills are going to get passed over. Okay. All right. So this is what we've been saying for a long time. Okay. Before I go ahead, I want to get this precept right here, because you're not gonna see Esau come back up against India for passing the the bill, passing the anti-hate speech bill. No, America is going to do the same thing. Trump is going to come in and give praises to India for doing that. Okay. Also, another thing is the social media thing, which I'm probably trying to find a video on it, to where now, all right, I don't know if it's being passed yet. If you going to USA, it's like flying to USA, going over there as a tourist, visiting. America is going to be allowed to access your social media 5 years back, 5 years ago, going to see what you posted out. They're going to be, looking into your social media to see what you posted out 5 years ago. Why do you think they're doing that, man? Anyway, so let's get this precept right here. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11, it says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Okay, in the NLT, it said, so that Satan will not outsmart us. So we're not gonna let this devil Esau, all right, and the rest of these heathens outsmart us, especially the men of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, because the things that this devil, the devil is doing and these heathens about to do, are all written in the Bible. So we are aware of these things, and these devils are not gonna outsmart us. You're not gonna put it's like you're not gonna come to us and say, stop preaching the truth because we're gonna do this to you. No, the truth is gonna go forth, man. Okay, the truth is gonna go on and on and on until until Yahushua comes back. All right. Now it's going to come to a time where the truth is not going to come out anymore, because that's written in the book of Amos, chapter 8, verse 11. And why is that? Because that precept has to be fulfilled. But does that mean the truth is being, given, the brothers have given up the truth? No, because brothers are still going to walk around with the truth within them. Okay? Brothers are still going to be prison. Brothers are still going to be given in, or be handed in before the court, the judges and all that, to give a testament, man. I'm gonna get those precepts. So verse 11 again, 2 Corinthians 2:11 in NLT. So that Satan will know as smart as, for we are familiar with his evil schemes, going into his evil plans. Let me see if I can get something here with NLT. So give me a minute, Baba Kusha. Okay, let me see. Right. First Peter chapter 5 verse 8, it says, be sober, be vigilant. So the only thing we gotta do is to be sober, be vigilant, meaning we sticking to the script. We're doing the work of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right, we ain't here doing extra, being extremist. It's like here, just preach the Bible. That's it, nothing else, man. Okay, and that's what the apostles been pushing. Go on the street and preach the Bible. If you say something that it's it's what's the word, man? It's there's a word to it, man. Controversial. Make sure you back it up with precepts. Okay. Make sure you back it up with precepts, because at the end of the day, this right here. At the end of the day, this is what's gonna happen, right? Romans chapter 3 and verse 3. For what if some do not believe? Should their unbelief make the faith of God without effect? Right? Because you're going to have non-believers out there. Esau's one of them. The heathens are 2/3. If they don't believe, is that going to change anything? The answer is no, right? Verse 4. So God forbid, yet let God be true, right? Let Yahweh Hashem shall be true. His words are going to be true. But every man a liar. So every man is going to be found a liar if you're coming against the truth. As it is written, right? That thou might be justified in thy sayings. So we're going to be justified in our sayings, meaning the words we are saying are of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Okay? And might overcome when thou art judged. So we're going to overcome this devil when we are judged, because we've been representing Yahweh Hashem Yahushua here on earth. Okay? Real quick, let's go from there and get the book of Sirach chapter 4 verse 28. It says, strive for the truth unto death. You see that? We're going to strive for the truth unto death. And all these bills that are passing, this is a way for these damn heathens to come against the man of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, to try to scare them, But guess what? We're going to strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahshua shall fight for thee. You see that? Okay, so let's come back here. 1 Peter 5 and 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he might devour. And that's this devil passing his laws, making up things as he goes through his AI, to where eventually, like, if you say something, you don't back it up, okay? Or even if you say something, you back it up with precepts, this devil can go back and use AI to make you seem crazy, to make you seem you really said that when you didn't. We know that. We ain't too concerned about that. As long as we know we never did that, we're never involved, we did the right thing, we good. Okay? This is all scare tactics that Esau's trying to use right now in these heathens. All right? Ephesians 5, it's like Ephesians chapter 6, verse 11 and 12. But put on the whole armor of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, which is this knowledge, that you might be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, the trickery of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, okay, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against the top elite, the bankers and all that, against spiritual weaknesses in high places. And the way this AI is working, you can see this is spiritual weaknesses in high places. They can really get you, have your photo somewhere and say, yeah, he did it. Look him here, the garment on, he was sending them, how about Hashem Yahshua, while he did it. And the whole world will fucking believe it. Okay? But we are aware of this. All right? We are aware of the devil, man. Okay, let's go from there. And there should be another precept that I'm going to be able to get here, right? First Peter 4:7. But at the end of all things, Saki, but the end of all things is at hand. Be therefore sober and watch unto prayer. Exactly, man. Okay? But the end of all things is at hand. And the end of all things, prophecies, the end of this man's society is all at hand. So we got to be what? Be sober and watch unto prayer. Okay? Watch and pray at the same time. All right? Let's go from there. Let's get another one. Let's go to the book of, I want to say Ephesians 5, right? Let's go to it. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15. See then you work circumspectly, right? In the NLT. So be careful how you live, right, man? Okay? Be careful how you live. Hey, Romans chapter 13, it really tells you how to be, But some people, they're going to try to use that precept as a way of making you go off, making you bow down and take that MOTB. All right, but we know what that, precept in Romans chapter 13 is really going into, right? Okay, then also you got, I agree with that adversary, those precepts, it's so many of them. And even in the book of Sirach, okay, don't ever, go up against a mighty man. That's Esau. This is his fucking kingdom. This is, he's in power, right? So are you gonna go ahead and do something that you don't, do, be a wicked, do some wicked shit here on, in this man's society, and when you get judged, no, okay? It says, see then you work circumspectly, not as fools but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. All right. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understand what the will of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai is. And we know what the will of the Heavenly Father Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai is. So we are to be wise. Okay? We are to walk, with wisdom, man. All right? Because if you don't, he's going to catch you, man. Remember, this devil is setting snares as he goes into this NWO of his, man. And you don't want to fall into his fucking snares. That's why, the book of Isaiah chapter 33 verse 6 is written. Okay? Stick with the precepts, man. Don't try to do shit. Don't try to do anything at your own strength or self-will, man. Okay? So let's go from there. And there was another precept. Hold up. So I read this here. I read that one right there. There's another one. Ephesians 4. No, Colossians, like here. It's the book of Colossians, chapter 4, and verse 5. Work in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that you might know how to answer every man. And that applies to the heathens, to the rulers of this earth. Because eventually you're gonna be caught up, and you're gonna need, you're gonna have to be well seasoned in the spirit, in scripture. To every question they ask you, the Heavenly Father Yahweh Hashem shall be with you if you truly believe. Okay? What is that? Matthew 10 and 20, man. All right? And that's what and that's how it's gonna be known who the Heavenly Father Yahweh Hashem is dealing with, man. Okay, who is chosen. Okay? Because these men, in the days to come, you're gonna see the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the scriptures on these men. Okay, in the days to come, you're gonna see them. All right. These men are not gonna be walking around calling themselves fucking, going debating, doing it, this, and doing that. But behind the curtains, you're just fucking wicked, and a wicked individual, man. You're just doing whatever. Okay, you just change the doctrine. You're just fucking trying to make the money by using the doctrine. No, man. The Heavenly Father Yahweh is not going to be with you in those days if that's your mindset. Okay? Let's go from the book of Matthew, chapter 10, and just to show you that these things, they have to happen. All right. Oh, let's go. Matthew chapter 10, verse 18. It says, and ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. You see that? Okay, when all these laws are passed, where this truth is under the category of hate speech, guess what? The man that preaches truth, the true man, are going to be what? To be handed over the governors, kings, okay, for the name of Yahweh Shemshah's sake, okay, against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you out, take no thought how or where you shall speak, for it shall be given you in the same hour where you shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. You see? And there's more precept, man. We can go in, we can tap into and show you, man, that we in our time. Okay, last one precept I'm gonna get is this right here. 2nd Ezra chapter 6, just to show you, man, this truth is gonna go forth. All right. 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 27. It says, for evil shall be put out, and the sea shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. So no matter what this devil does and do, this truth is gonna go forward, man. It says, as for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth which have been so long without fruit shall be declared. All right. Only when Amos 8:11 is fulfilled, that's when you guys, you sisters out there who don't want to get this knowledge right now, when Amos 8:11 kicks in, you guys are gonna be seeking for it, but it's not gonna be there. Okay, the only ones who are gonna have that truth are going to be the man and the true believers out there, and it's gonna be within their heart, their minds, But for you who don't got none, you won't have none. And for you who had this truth, a little bit of it, but you chose to go ahead and sell it and do this and that, it's going to be taken away from you, man. Okay? It's going to be taken away from you. All right? Let's jump from there to the book of Isaiah real quick. Isaiah chapter 59 and verse, I just get to the point of it. Isaiah 59 verse 14, and judgment is turned away backward, and justice is standing afar off, for truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter. Yet truth faileth, and he that depart from evil and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord Yahweh saw it, and it pleased him that there was no judgment. And this is what we're about to come into, man. To where, if you no longer believe in this system, in this society, you're going to be categorized as an enemy of the state, and you're going to be imprisoned. Okay? Let's go from there and go to the book of Revelation. Revelation 12 and verse 11. And they overcame him and they overcame him. Let me start from verse 11. And now I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Revelation 12 and 10, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our power, and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which is Esau, which accused them before our power day and night. And Esau is about to come out and accuse us doing things that we never did. Through his fucking AI, man. All right? You about to see that. Okay? It says, and they overcame him. And this is how we the elect, Lord willing, I'm of the elect. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, which is Yahushua, and by the word of their testament. You know how when Ba was prophesying against this man's society, representing Yahweh Hashem Yahushua here, man. Okay? And they loved not their lives unto death. You understand? Okay, and that's how you overcome this devil. St. John 16:33. These things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation. Be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. So meaning the elect, what they're going to overcome the world as Yahushua did, because he's with them. Romans 8:33. Who shall? Let's go verse 31. Romans chapter 8 verse 31. What shall we then say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us? Nobody, man. All right? No one. So, you know, I don't want to make this too long. I'm going to go ahead and play this video here and watch and watch for yourself, man.
The Karnataka government introduced a new legislation against hate speech and hate crime in the Legislative Assembly on Wednesday. While government claims that the Karnataka Hate Speech and Hate Crimes Prevention Bill 2025 is the first of its kind legislation, which is aimed at curbing.
Right? It says offenders can get up to 10 years in prison. A victim can be compensated by court based on the gravity of crime. You see that? Now, you know for sure once this reaches America, man, Esau, the 2/3 of our people, them niggas that fucking hate this truth, man, they're coming against us. The woman, they're coming against us. They're going to play victim. Watch, Akim. So now it's time to, you know, tighten up our speech.
Preventing hate speech and crimes. The bill was vociferously opposed by the BJP. All offences under this bill are non-bailable, with provisions of imprisonment ranging from 1 year to 7 years, with a fine of 50,000 rupees. Repeat offenders will attract imprisonment ranging from 2 years to 10 years, with a fine of 1 lakh Indian rupees. And if an organisation commits a hate crime, the person in charge of the said organisation will also be guilty of the offence. The bill also allows the court to award adequate compensation to the victims based on the gravity of the crime. The provisions of this bill will not extend to any book, pamphlet, paper, writing, drawing, painting, representation or figure if it is proven to be in the interest of science, literature, art or learning, or used for heritage or religious purposes. Now, this bill assumes significance as India's criminal code, the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, does not define hate speech and hate crime. However, BNS does have provisions such as 196 and 299, which penalize enmity between different groups on grounds of religion, race, place of birth, residence, language, and acts intended to outrage religious feelings. Previously, Section 66A of the IT Act was invoked against hate speech, but it was scrapped by the Supreme Court in 2015.
You know, I'm just going to leave it right there, man. Okay? Let me do this. I'm going to use this as my...